Alright, we're gonna hop on this one here with the Akrapovic exhaust. Alright.
I'll get this out of your way.
Got that. Thank you, sir.
Remember what row you come back in.
Oh, yeah.
I want to do it just to get everything.
Okay. Alright. Look at this display here. Okay. Alright, this will be my first time actually riding a bike. Oh, okay, that's weird. Alright, so this is my first time riding a bike with this sort of display, being back with the rear sets. Being back on a bike with rear sets. Well, actually, alright, so my FZ. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, guys. FTR1200. FTR1200. It feels about as tall as my FZ09. The rear sets, now the foot controls on the FZ, they're lower. They're almost like right below you, in a nice seated position. This FTR has, I would consider, rear sets, like they're more behind you. So, you know, your legs are more, bent. I can't even talk right now. I'm just so excited to be on this thing. All right. Now we're going straight and cancel their turn signals. Okay. Okay. So now, obviously, I'm not going to be able to, you know, put this bike through its paces of how it's supposed to be ridden. But I can tell you already that this bike is so much more comfortable than the FZ. So much more comfortable than the FZ, but a lot more money. A lot more money. Why is it more comfortable? The rear set position, honestly, you know, the rear set position, the seat, so far being on it for a couple minutes, the seat feels, I gotta say, kind of hard, but not hard in the sense that it's uncomfortable. It's just it's firm, but, oh man, guys. I wish I could articulate my words a little bit better than just say, oh man, oh, wow, oh, geez. But yeah, seriously, the controls, the hand controls, the grips, the position of the handlebars, just everything about this bike feels so much more comfortable than the FZ. Like the FZ, it feels like the handlebars are wider. This feels more narrow, so I'm actually going to look into this. I'm actually really going to look into this and see what type of handlebars are on this bike to see if I could put these on the FZ. Because I'm really liking these handlebars. Okay, engine braking feels a little bit light, I gotta say. I gotta be honest, engine braking feels a little bit light. This is my first time on a 1200. Alright, so turn signal did not cancel out that time. I really wish I could get a chance to, you know, just really open it up and feel it, but, you know, you're on a test ride. That's, you know, kind of the nature of the beast. But it gives you an idea of what the bike is gonna feel like. You know, just what the bike is gonna feel like. And I gotta say, oh, it just feels so good. The display is nice, crisp, and clear. If I had a little bit more time with it, I would have liked to, I would have just been more comfortable seeing what is on this. Oh, and this one has a fuel gauge. Okay, so compared to the Indian Scout Bobber and the Indian Scout, this bike does have a fuel gauge built in. So it's got sport mode, it's got all other kinds of modes, but I'm not familiar with it, so I'm not gonna mess around with it a whole lot. Because again, we're just on a little test ride. We're not gonna be able to really open her up and really see the difference between the modes here. Mirrors aren't terrible. But I feel like I see more of my shoulder than I see behind me, really. But that's probably just because of the circular design compared to these other bikes have more of an oval design. Stopped. It's I'm tippy-toed right now, but that's where you just kind of lean the bike over, put your foot down, and you're comfortable. It's fine. This is fine. So these are Pro Taper bars. I'm gonna really have to look into these. See what kind is on here. Oh man, look at that. Okay, so it's got phone, music, rain, standard, sport. So we're in sport mode right now. All right, let's go. Now the one thing I gotta say about the shifter, all right, so it did self-cancel that time. So hit or miss. The self-canceling is gonna work or it won't work depending on how far you turn or lean over. That would be my guess as how the self-canceling works on these Indians. But the style alone of the FTR is just beautiful, in my opinion. Is just such a beautiful style to have that that circle track or flat track style of heritage. It's, man, makes me wish that I could just buy up all these motorcycles and put them in a big garage, and when I'm just feeling some kind of way, I just hop on that bike and go. But at a price point, I want to say the FTR, I'll have to look again and put the price up here, but I want to say it's about a maybe a $12,000 to $14,000 motorcycle. And without getting a chance to really open it up, is it worth it? Is it worth it because the name, it's got a 1200cc V-twin, which is going to sound awesome when you have the pipes on it with the Akrapovic exhaust. You're not, I don't know, I'm not getting the sound that I would have thought that I was going to get out of it. But it's, it doesn't sound bad if that's what you're thinking. I'm saying it doesn't sound bad at all. I'm just saying I thought there would have been a little bit more sound coming out of this exhaust. But it's got the flat track style tires on this. I believe it's got, some of these are a little different. Some of these have, I want to say, spoked wheels. Some have the alloy wheels. We have to see when we're at the stop here. Oh, we got a green arrow. Okay. Okay, so the power just kind of kicks in. The power just kind of kicks in because that just about bucked me. Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay. I wish I had this for a day just to ride. But I gotta say, this is a lot more comfortable than the FZ. Just body position in general, it's just more comfortable. I don't know if it's because the rear sets or the seating position, but I feel like I'm a little bit more forward than I am on the FZ. But it's a comfortable forward. It's not like, you're gonna strain your back at all. Like, at all. Like, yeah. it's just a very comfortable bike. You know, the power is there, the power feels good. I'm just, man, I am just so, I'm thrilled with Indian right now, to be honest. And honestly, this has been a long time coming. I have been interested in Indian bikes for so long. There's only one Indian dealer that's in my area, and that, and it's still considered in my area, is still about 40 minutes. So, only one Indian dealer in my area that I've gone and looked at them, you know, drooled over them, but to actually finally be able to ride them and ride multiples, this is just, I'm in heaven right now. I'm in heaven. Now, the one thing I gotta say about the gear shifter on this, it doesn't stick out that far. It doesn't stick out very far, so you really gotta stick your toe on the inside to shift, which when we first got on the road, I almost missed a couple shifts because I wasn't used to sticking my toe that far in. So that, I guess, is going to conclude this video on the Indian FTR1200. And actually, now that we're hitting some of these bumps that I'm used to, yeah, I mean, suspension, it's a little bit stiffer than it is on the Scout, but that's kind of to be expected. You know, this is more of a sporty, the flat track style of bike. It's more sporty. It's, you know, it's gonna have, yeah, a little bit stiffer suspension, but that's to be expected. But until the next video, guys, get out here and ride. Check out Indian motorcycles and ride yourself an Indian. You know, I just think that they have a lot going for them right now. They got some great styles. Just not a cheap feeling bike at all. Like, I know a lot of people had talked about Indians just being kind of a cheap feeling bike. You know, they're like a knockoff Harley. Now, I've never really ridden a Harley. I rode a Fat Bob, one of the new style Fat Bobs. I rode one, they're like around the block, but these don't feel cheap at all. You know, if you're trying to compare these as being cheap, they're not cheap. They feel very well made, quality motorcycle.